to Race Factory Gaming Supercross.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round number 13 of the 2020 MotoOption SX Series, live here tonight on RacerX Illustrated's YouTube channel. We're doing something special this week with everything that's going on right now. Everybody kind of in a little bit of a quarantine, and we're having no real racing on the weekend, so we're instead going to have a little bit of virtual racing for you guys this week. My name is Kellen Brower. You guys may know me from my YouTube channel, Start Your Systems, or perhaps you know me from working here at RacerX more frequently, or more recently, I should say. And I'm going to be bringing you guys the action for tonight's action. It's Seattle replica round of the MX Simulator SX Series. This is a pro race tonight. This is the best MX Simulator gamers in the world. They're all coming together. They're all facing off against each other. They've already raced the 12 rounds so far into the season, and we're coming into the 13th round tonight. And for those of you that have never been with us before, this is essentially just ran like it would be a normal real-life Monster Energy AMA Supercross event. We're going to have heat races in both 250 and 450 divisions. We're going to have last chance qualifiers. We're, of course, going to have main events. And we're going to be with you guys here for the next probably about 2 hours and hopefully bring you guys some entertainment to distract you from everything going on right now, as we just have a good night of racing and hopefully things go off without a hitch. First time streaming on the RacerX YouTube, so if there's any problems, of course, I'm looking at chat on my left-hand side here, so just let me know if we're having any issues. But so thankful that everybody decided to tune in tonight. I hope you guys enjoy this, and let's get into some discussion about what is exactly going to happen on the track tonight with our first little report of the point standings, which is on your screen now. This is the 250 West Division, so if you're frequenting us and you've seen these races before already, you know that we've been racing the East Championship for the last couple of weeks. We've gone back to the West Series now, and with that, we're also seeing some familiar faces that have been up front in the 450 class as of late. Here's the 250 point standings, though, coming into tonight. Braden Carter with the points lead over Chase DeSalle, Luke Sullivan, Chase Blakely, and Jacob Hubbard. Now, again, these are all real people, so I don't know if I clarified that enough with you guys, but this is not a simulated event. This isn't just some artificial intelligence in the race actually being ran. These are all real people in different parts of the world. People like Ben Seberg down here in 7th in the standings. He's British, so he's going to be up until 2 a.m. tonight racing in Great Britain against all these other people. Clint Martin, he's Australian, so he's on the other side of the world racing. This is all full-blown real people. They're just playing a video game together. And you'll actually see some familiar faces on the line tonight if you're not familiar with the gaming side of things and you're more familiar with the real-life racing side of things. In our 450 division, you'll notice a name right there in the middle of everything, Jeremy Smith. That is real-life pro rider Jeremy Smith, everyone's favorite pick on Pulp MX Fantasy, obviously. He's currently sitting in 6th in the championship standings in the 450 division this year, behind Jeremy Seabolt, who's got a 21-point lead on the defending series champion Jack Haley, Colton Mitchell, former series champion Alexis Leclerc, and Walter Gebhardt inside of the top 5. We also have guys like Adam Holm, who has been a winner in this series before, Bryce Whelan, another guy who's won in this series before. A lot of different storylines to follow in these classes coming into tonight, and we're going to try to bring you guys all that action, of course, right here live on RacerX's YouTube channel. I can't believe this is actually happening. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy every little detail of this tonight, and really excited to bring you guys all of the racing. Well, whoops, pressed the wrong button. Let's look at this first. Let's go ahead and we'll pull up the qualifying times as they were about 5 minutes ago, right when I got the broadcast started. Fastest qualifier, Race Carlin. This is actually kind of a shock for the man known as the General in this game. Carlin, very fast in this game, but not someone that we usually see qualifying towards the top of the sheets. But he has beat Alexis Leclerc, at least so far in qualifying, by a 10th of a second here. Leclerc, Gebhardt, Haley, and Whelan inside of the top 5. And here you get an idea of the different countries represented. Jeremy Smith is American, of course. So is Zach Prokop. They just have different flags from the Race Factory Gaming side of things. But you can see we've got some French riders, some Canadian riders. As we go down the list, you'll see Dennis Fjellberg, he's from Norway, Eduardo Simos from Brazil. So we've got a whole different gamut of riders here in both of these classes tonight that are playing, like I said, all around the world. In our 250 division, though, it is our current points leader and the man who has pretty much been unstoppable this year, Braden Carter, who is leading this class, not only in the points, but in the timesheets tonight here in Seattle, as he has laid down a 54.4. Jake Rose on a 54.5. Daniel Mills not able to get into that 54-second range just yet, but maybe if we get the times refreshed, he'll be down in there as well. Riley Hewen and Ivan Medina inside of the top 5. Got guys like Alanis Salas from Lithuania here tonight. Bradley Clay from Great Britain. Daniel Paz from Chile looks like playing. So a lot of different people out here getting after it. Got a lot of signups tonight too, which is good, of course, because streaming on RacerX Online. Got a lot of people watching that normally maybe wouldn't watch. So I'm going to try to ease you guys into this tonight. Maybe you've never seen this before. Maybe you don't know what MX Simulator is. First of all, let's go in the game and kind of detail a little bit more about this game. What we're racing on tonight is actually a completely custom user-made racetrack. And in fact, I'll just do a little overhead view of it here. But the stadium that was built for this, the track itself, the structures, all of these things are user built. This isn't built by the game creator. This has actually almost nothing to do with the game creator. This is a team of people known as the Race Factor Gaming Track Crew that have kind of come together and put this whole thing together for us. It's very time consuming to build these types of tracks, and they do it every week for us. We get 17 rounds of Supercross action, and we get 12 rounds of outdoor action. They're working on a GP series as well, so we get to race all these different things, and they do a terrific job with that every week, as well as the actual organization itself that runs the event. You'll see as we go on through the night program how they are able to script things and get people into the right areas. Like I said, we're going to have heat races, we're going to have last chance qualifiers, we're going to have main events, and we're going to have 80 different guys on the track here tonight. It's not just a tight little knit group of 12 people, which is what we'd have if we were playing a different video game right now. This is going to be full-blown 22 rider main events, 20 rider heat races, 22 rider last chance qualifiers, and the same format, 9 going through out of the heats, 4 going through out of those last chance qualifiers to make up that 22 rider main event. Going to be a lot of action to bring you through tonight. And of course, the biggest talking points that we always have to hit on is the actual riders that will be racing on it. I'll try to give you guys backgrounds, some storylines to follow as we go on throughout the night. Of course, already hit on the points standings. Perhaps you heard me on the Pulp MX show talk about a rider who was banned from the series. That is a gentleman by the name of Rush Chapman. So he had the points lead up until Daytona. He was then banned from the series for some rough riding in a different series that is ran by Race Factor Gaming, and he was deemed ineligible to compete. So that handed the points lead over to Jeremy Siebold, and he has pretty much taken it and ran with it since then. And yeah, this has actually been a very interesting championship now that we've got into the latter stages of this season. There's only 5 rounds left to go. There's a 21-point gap, but Jack Haley, who's the defending series champion here, you'll see him on that number 1 bike tonight. He has had a rough go of it this season. He has yet to pick up a win in his title defense, which would be the second year in a row that the defending champion of this series was unable to defend his title. Haley this year, Alexis Leclerc last year, unable to defend their title or win a race in the following year. And if you've never ever seen this before and you have no idea what MX Simulator is, MX Simulator, of course, is a video game. It is a game that I'll even show you that you play on a controller. So here I am holding a controller. This is an Xbox 360 controller. This is my trusty steed of choice, but some people like to play it with a PlayStation 4, a PlayStation 3. Some people have even played it with a joystick. I've seen a lot of different setups for how to play this game, but one thing it is not is a true simulator because we're using controllers. It's not iRacing where you're using steering wheels. We don't have bike models that we're sitting on and leaning stuff around. So it is still a video game, but the point is that it's a very difficult video game, very hard to master, and the people that are good at this game have done so by a lot of trial and error, a lot of practice, and a lot of time to get themselves into a position where they're actually good at this game. So, looks like we just have the UID grab complete. That is a way of gathering everybody who is currently in the server into different scripts so that we can run these races, and it looks like we're about to get 250 West Heat number 1 underway. So glad you guys could join us here tonight. MotoOption Clothing again on board with us for the 9th year running in this series. We have been at it for 11 years of the Pro SX series in MX Simulator. Dating back to 2010 was the first ever champion. And we've had a very interesting mix of riders come through. these races, myself included. I actually used to race these events as well, but I have long since been washed up, and now I continue to broadcast and bring you guys the action every week. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us here on RacerX's YouTube tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoy the program, because maybe you've never seen it before. But our regulars obviously will probably be in the chat trying to help you guys through the night understand what it is that you're actually watching, so that you know on track what's happening, because there's going to be a lot of different things that you're going to see that are unusual to a normal race. The format's going to be the same. The actual riding does look pretty similar, but there are things that happen, like a fall-off crash, which is where the rider falls off the bike. His hands never actually come fully off the bike, so it's usually about an 8 to 12 second crash where he slowly picks the bike back up and gets going. We call those a fall-off crash. There's normal slide-outs and tip-overs and things like that. There's also a very intricate penalty system that is installed into the game, that if you actually cut the track, if you're cutting through bales, if you're on the side of the track going in 5th gear and you cut a whole rhythm lane or something like that, it'll penalize you at the end of the race. It'll add total time to your race, and we'll talk about that system as well, because sometimes when we have a close race come to the checkered flag, we say, well, it could come down to cuts. That's in a situation where maybe if the guy that wins only won by a half a second and he has more than a second of cuts, then he would lose the race on adjusted time, and the whole system would fix that and we'd be able to see that. I totally forgot to change my title. This is actually last week's race that we had, Detroit. But again, this is a weekly deal. We have been doing this since the first round of the season, and we're going to keep doing it through the end. No breaks for us. Obviously, we're trying to keep a little bit of an E-series going here. But yeah, this is just really exciting to have you guys joining us here on the RacerX Illustrated YouTube page. And hopefully you guys really do actually enjoy tonight, because that's what we're here for. We're just trying to entertain you guys. I know that some of this probably looks a little bit maybe too try-hard or just goofy in general. I get it. I'm not one to believe that this is the end-all, be-all. And personally speaking, I'd rather be getting on a flight either tomorrow or Friday and heading to Seattle myself to go cover the race. Unfortunately, we're in a very different circumstance in the world right now, and as things change, we obviously want to try to keep you guys as entertained as possible. So sit back, strap in, enjoy round number 13, MotoOption SX, live here on RacerX Illustrated tonight. And 250 West Heat number 1 will be coming up first. We'll give you guys a really quick rundown through the order if we can. Usually takes a little bit longer to load into these, just because I have everybody's bike skins, helmets, gear, etc. And so loading all those things usually takes a little bit longer. I promise it's not a computer issue. It just takes a tiny bit longer to load in than probably regular people do, just because I have everything. But we'll get loaded in, and we'll bring you guys the action. Again, Kellen Brower here, RacerX Illustrated, bringing you guys the action of the 13th round MotoOption SX, the Pro MX Simulator Supercross Championship. Going to be a good night of racing. Top 9 going to go through out of this 250 West Heat race number 1. And everybody behind them will go through to the last chance qualifier. Got to jump out and jump back in here real quick. There we go. All right, let's real quickly try to run you guys down through who is on the racetrack tonight. Maxime Vanderbeek, Fred Heather, Alana Solis, Ivan Medina, Hunter Braun, Jonathan Hughes, Luke Sullivan, Zach Ginter, Braden Carter, our points leader, Jake Rose, Hunter Porch, Chase Blakely, Brandon Holmes, Jake Warden, and a few others that I missed at the front. They were on a parade lap. Everybody gets a bit of a warm-up lap so that I can load in. Honestly, that's what it's for. But we're ready to go racing. This is going to be a 6-minute plus 1 lap 250 West Heat number 1 coming up right now. See if I can find our points leader on the gate as everybody's still getting loaded in. Here he is. It's actually going to probably be a little bit more on the inside, though, once we get fully loaded in. There we go. And we're set to go racing tonight here on RacerX Illustrated. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. It's time to go racing. The Seattle replica in MX Simulator is live right now. Oh man, a land rush down to that first corner. Carter looks like he's got the prime position down the inside as the 45 runs wide, and it is going to be Braden Carter who picks up that hole shot. He's going to try to lead the field through this tricky rhythm section. We already got some riders getting thrown around and going down, and a new leader trying to come down the inside. It actually is going to be Jake Rose taking over the lead, but Carter triples right back by him, goes 3 on, off, 3-3 out of the rhythm, and right back into the lead as everybody gets kind of settled in behind them. Got a rider down on the opposite side. Hopefully Jake Rose sees that, and he does just at the last second there. So we got Hunter Braun right behind Devin Davis. It looks like Davis may have missed the timing gate there because timing and scoring didn't quite pick up. Oh, Devin Davis, absolute sauce on the triple, but he goes down. Gonna lose a couple positions. As actually, it looks like he only lost, well, 1, 2, maybe 3 positions. I think that's Charles Gable trying to go down the inside. Brandon Holmes was able to sneak through, as did Hunter Porch on the 47. His long start straight definitely going to provide some unique opportunities with a lot of crashing going on into this first turn tonight. So guys are going to get a benefit if they can just stay on 2 wheels through this first turn. And Hunter Porch looks like he's the man on the move right now, trying to close it down on Hunter Braun, but Braun able to quad out into that corner and hold it on the Ignite Co machine. He's trying to run down Jake Rose. Nobody in the same zip code as Braden Carter out front, though. The number 32 machine has been dominant in this 250 West division this year and even moved up to the 450 class and had some strong showings on the East Coast. So he is no slouch in this series. He knows how to get things done. Looking like he's picking up right where he left off in this West Championship from earlier on in the year. Pretty technical racetrack tonight. Has a very similar layout to 2017 Salt Lake City. A couple different timing sections that they have through here. The finish line jump is also in a different location. That line is huge at the end there. Triple on, off. Then they go triple and quad into the corner. On a 250F, that is insane how big that line is, but Carter making it look super easy out front. Back here in third, looks like Hunter Porch has just hit the deck. We got another rider. That seems to be the 62 of Holmes coming in. Brandon Holmes almost landing on... Oh, and now he's going to go down. He just cased that quad in the middle of the rhythm, and we got a host of riders going through, including Porch, who just went down again. All these guys getting mixed in as Daniel Mills tries to slide down the inside of Devin Davis. The 65 of Luke Sullivan is in here, as well as Chase Blakely on the 21s trying to look down the inside there. Up and over this Supercross triple, we got a couple different scrub options there. Scrub to the left, scrub to the right. Oh, Sullivan almost through the front door on the finish line jump. As Blakely applies that pressure, and Davis on the 30 trying to sneak away ahead of him. Daniel Mills coming back from 7th. He's right behind these guys as well. Tight-knit battle. Looks like Blakely got that triple over and down the inside. Makes the move on Sullivan. That's going to move him up into the 5 spot. And they use the alternate rhythm here. Double in. And then they quad triple at the end. Devin Davis goes down. And he is going to definitely lose a spot to Daniel Irvine. Does Jack Gatlin get by? No. Davis gets up just in front of Gatlin, who is in the final transfer spot. But here comes Hunter Porch trying to fight his way back in. He's going to triple alongside and triple by, maybe. Oh, big crash. And he gets into Porch, and now Porch goes down. Unbelievable change of events there. As Gatlin ended up going backwards on the racetrack, he got into Hunter Porch, and it cost them both a lot of positions. That is going to move Ivan Medina into the final transfer spot on the 248 here at C4 Designs ride. Oh, but he's sliding out as well. So Medina settling in. He is going to try to hold on to this final transfer spot. We're looking at just a little over a minute and a half plus a lap left to go in this race. And it is get nervous time for some of these guys. Daniel Irvine, pretty comfortable out here in the 8th spot, right behind Devin Davis, who's able to regroup from his fall. And he's running in the 7th spot now. Luke Sullivan, Chase Blakely, Daniel Mills. Got a rider going down, but it looks to be a lapped rider on the inside there. 761 of Michael Mudge, moving out of the way very nicely there. Daniel Mills just ahead of these guys. Then Hunter Braun still having a really strong showing here. That Tim Geiser number 243, a special edition. Got that Ignite Co machine working it tonight, and he is running in that 3 spot. Jake Rose still in 2nd on the 92 whip style machine. Nobody touching Braden Carter out front, though. He's got a sizable lead And he's looking at probably 2 laps to go this time through. Time will expire this lap. And we will see the white flag waving next time by. This has been Carter's MO in this 250 West division. Get out front and pull away while all the chaos ensues behind him. That's how he won a lot of his races to start this year. And that's how he's opened up a huge points gap. I haven't actually checked, but I think it could clinch with a few lucky dice rolls tonight, I think. There's still 3 rounds to go in the series after this. Well, maybe he can't clinch. He's got about a 54-point lead. Or maybe a 51-point lead now that I think of it. And if he can... no, I don't think, because he needed to be 52 points ahead. So yeah, not going to be able to clinch tonight. But he definitely is taking some huge steps towards winning this championship as he's trying to put Jake Warden on the 40 here, a lap down. So Carter goes on through. Leader finds his way through. And for those of you that, again, are still new to this game, what just happened right there is Carter's going to go down. He tried to do a tire tap line on that triple. It did not work in his favor. It looks like he is still going to get up and going before Jake Rose gets there. So he will maintain that lead, but what I was about to say is as he was going by, well, really as he's going by all these guys, let me see if I can go back and actually spot one of these guys so that I can show you what's going on here. So Brandon Holmes right in front of Braden Carter right now. You'll see there's a blue bar that appears across the bottom of the screen there. It says the number of the rider, 32, Braden Carter, and the amount of seconds behind Brandon Holmes that Carter is. That gives an indication. It's called the blue bar. We call it basically like a blue flag. Gives the indication of the riders ahead that the leaders are coming through and there's a race going on. You're not in it. But Braden Carter is going to come through and he takes the win. 250 heat number 1 belonging to Braden Carter. He's able to hold off Jake Rose, Daniel Mills, Hunter Braun, Chase Blakely inside of the top 5, Luke Sullivan back here in 6th, Devin Davis struggling his way through this rhythm section in 7th, Michael Mudge trying to unlap himself there. Medina is 8th, and Fred Heather has moved up into the 9th spot. The rider out of Great Britain for SwapMotoLive.com just hopping through the whoops there a little bit. Gathers it up nicely, and he's got a big gap behind him, so he's just got to get through these last couple corners clean. We got some riders who've already finished the race sitting on the track there as well. Got to be careful with that, but it will be Fred Heather stamping his ticket to the main event tonight. He's going through here in Seattle. Jack Gatlin, fellow Brit, gonna just miss out, almost tucks the front wheel there. Brandon Holmes, also missing out. Zach Ginter, Daniel Irvine, remember all these guys headed to the last chance qualifier. Hunter Porch, Jacob Warden, Jonathan Hughes, Michael Mudge, Tyson Parliament, Maxime Vanderbeek, and Alana Solis all headed to the LCQ as well. Cuts are in. Let's see if it looks like Devin Davis lost a spot to Medina on cuts, but they stayed inside of transfer positions because of that. And it has now been confirmed that Braden Carter, after cuts have been input, is your 250 West Heat number 1 winner. All right, 1 race done tonight. Many more still to come. We got 250 West Heat number 2 coming up. Same exact format as we just saw, where the top 9 are going to transfer through. All the other runners will be headed to that last chance qualifier. And we'll also have the 450 heat races coming up after this. Man, I'm so bummed. I wish I would remember to change that title image. I guess I could go just delete it real quick. But that is last round that we did in Detroit. Had the Detroit Supercross actually happen in real life, that's the track. That's what it would have looked like. Unfortunately, we did not. All right, Kellen Brower here, Racer X Illustrated YouTube channel, bringing you guys the action. Be sure to get involved if you guys haven't already. Head over to racefactorygaming.com. There is a novice series that you can sign up and race for free. If you're wishing to race one of these pro events or one of the many amateur events that are hosted through racefactorygaming.com, you will have to pay. But they're a lot of fun. They have a really great system of running things. They have great races pretty much in all disciplines that you can imagine. Even if your speed level is a little bit different, there's usually a class that they'll slot you into. And it's a lot of fun. It's very difficult. This game is not easy. But if you take the time to learn it, if you really sit down and try, which I think some people might have the opportunity to do right now, as we're all kind of sitting at home wondering what to do with no racing, it's a fun game. It's challenging, but it's very fun once you pick it up and learn it. And that's why a lot of these guys that have been around for years still play it. And that's why we've been broadcasting it over at Start Your Systems for the last 6 years. And we've also been doing live broadcasts with Vermoto Gamers and Race Factory Gaming themselves for 9 years now. So we've actually been involved a lot longer than just those 6 years suggest. But we love it. It's a good time. I got, like I said, we're going to see many real-life pros out here tonight, and a couple names that you may recognize for sure. Like this man, Robert Wilson. He won a B moto at Loretta's a couple years ago. I think it was 2014 that Wilson won a moto at Loretta's. But I also have, what I was laughing at is I got Jerry Robin texting me right now telling me that he may never play this game again after tonight because he's dealing with some issues there. We also got Dalton Plessinger, Aaron's younger brother, down the inside. A couple different options for gate selection here tonight as we got a long start shape, but 250 West heat number 2 on the line and set to go. Here we go. Looks like the 50 might get to the corner first, but he's going to get beat down the inside. Bradley Clay on the 306 tagger ride gets the whole shot, and he's going to get that first rhythm lane pretty cleanly here. Well, a little long there in case it's a triple out. Now down the inside gets a little nudge from Wilson, and there goes Robert Wilson right into the lead. So the man I was just talking about on that parade lap used to be well, it still is a very good real-life rider. I think a couple pro nationals, or at least tried to, but he did win a moto at Loretta's in the B class back in 2014. Out here motoing in sim, getting a little squirrely there, and Rogan McIntosh on the 142 VlastimX.com ride right behind him, applying some pressure for the lead here early. Little case on the finish line jump there for Wilson as they funnel in behind one another. Down the start straight we go. Oh, a little short there for Wilson again. You just can't seem to get over all these. And McIntosh busts the triple. Into the lead he goes. Rogan McIntosh out front. And he triples on here. Gets that triple a little long there, so he's only going to be able to triple single into this corner. And Wilson cuts back underneath to make the pass, and down goes McIntosh. We also got Riley Hewen flipping off the track in the background. So a couple things kicking off right there as Hewen goes into the Davalos bales there. We got McIntosh getting up right behind Kevin Gonzalez on the 33 MV Films machine. We got Tanner Thorson just ahead of him. Jacob Hubbard on the 46 going through the whoops. Oh man, some swaps there for Thorson. Nice save though. Everybody trying to gather themselves through that technical whoop section. Pretty tall set this week. Got an on-off split inside table over single. Close action here as Wilson now opens up a 5.6 second gap. McIntosh back into third, and then we're looking at Thorson, Gonzalez, and Trevor Schaefer in this little freight train right here. Thorson on that 410 Proline Designs machine, right in front of Gonzalez, who's going to bust that triple. Seems like that's going to be the key in this 250 division, to get that triple there, coming back across the start straight. And they go 2, 4, 3, 3. Or the other option is on, or triple on off, and then you go 3, 4 out of the rhythm. Both are very huge lines, including the one Thorson just busted right there. 2, 4, 3, 2. A lot of different options in these rhythm lanes. Looks like Benjamin Saves has moved around Kevin Gonzalez. Not sure if the 33 machine went down. We're not seeing him on the screen as we see Hewen in the background there. And Benjamin Saves right there on Trevor Schaefer. Up and over the finish line jump once more. 3 minutes down, 3 minutes to go, and a lap. We got a little tip over there for Benjamin Saves. He did not save that one, pun intended, as a couple riders went through. That was Hewen going through with Zoa Cross right behind him. Oh, big crash. Hewen into the side of McIntosh. Oh, and then McIntosh gets plowed to the ground by Trevor Spencer. Looks like they're on the same team. They are not. That is the SwapMotoLive.com ride of Trevor Spencer taking out the VlastMX.com ride, Rogan McIntosh. We got Trent Adams, Privateer Island out here right behind Trevor Spencer. Got Daniel Paz running in the final transfer spot right now, the WestFX.com number 502. And there is Gonzalez on the 33 coming in the background. And the 61 looks like Dalton Plessinger's got a good run in the whoops as well. Paz sliding across the start straight, trying to hold on to this final transfer spot. By the way, change for the lead up front. Completely missed it, but the 46 of Jacob Hubbard has gone to the lead. This is Hubbard's signature right here. Not sure why he does this. He is riding a 250F. Don't be confused by the white plates, but he always runs this white-plated white 250F Yamaha with just his number 46 in black on the front. He always does this. I don't really know. I think just because he is trying to prove how privateer he is. And to the topic of teams and privateers in this game, it isn't really as in-depth as you think. A lot of these teams that you see that, you know, we saw the SwapMotoLive.com team, we saw the MV Films team, a couple other teams mixed in there. That's really just a group of friends gathering together, and it's often a case where they just ask for the rights or permission to run a team name like the SwapMotoLive.com team. MV Films is actually a film company that is run by the team owner, Jeremy Cohenauer of the MV Films team. But Hubbard here does not have a team. He's just privateer islanding it out here. Oh, and he's going to privateer island himself into the ground as he goes down and into the concrete. That might just hand Tanner Thorson the lead here, but Thorson may not get there fast enough as Hubbard's just getting going. Jumps back onto the track, and we got a lapped rider coming through there. That is the 713, I think. I didn't quite see the number there. Definitely a Mad Cape rider, though. But Hubbard able to maintain the lead. With Thorson trying to close up in second, we got Robert Wilson. He's drifted back to third. Oh, Hubbard out of shape in the whoops. But so is Thorson, and now a huge one as Wilson yard sails on the right side of the whoops, the left side of your screen there. You got riders coming through that are trying to avoid him. Zoa Cross getting a little frisky there as well. And Robert Wilson trying to regroup. He now ends up in the midst of that battle. That's a 213, I should say, on that Mad Cape ride. That is Tommy Dallaire, who is mixed in. And Robert Wilson's trying to find his way through. Little dualies action over the finish line. Jump dualies is when we got two people side by side whipping. Wilson, Kevin Gonzalez, Daniel Paz mixed together. Time has now expired, so next time by, white flag will be waving in this second 250 West heat race. Ooh, a little mistake there for Dallaire. Almost got into Daniel Paz, and I think that was Gonzalez. It was Gonzalez getting up sideways in the track, gets ran into by Dallaire. So leader on lap or crime there. And McIntosh able to get on through. Where are we looking at here? This is P9, Trent Adams, but he just got passed by Rogan McIntosh. So McIntosh now into that final transfer spot. He is right behind Daniel Paz as white flag is now waving for Hubbard out front. All the action right here, though, as McIntosh trying to hold on to the final transfer spot. Daniel Paz going right through the mechanics bales there on the crossover on the start straight. These guys getting the white flag now. 1 lap to go. McIntosh trying to hold on. Oh, getting hung up in the corner there. Paz gets passed by McIntosh. This is a battle for 8th. Oh, and now Paz trying to go over McIntosh, and he lands on him, and they're both going to go down. They're both going to lose transfer spots because of this. Gonzalez goes through. Well, McIntosh might get lucky here and get up still in a transfer, but here comes, that's Dallaire, still trying to get himself not a lap down as Hubbard takes the win out front. Frantic action here as McIntosh is trying not to run into Dallaire, and Paz jumps by him And then Paz messes up and goes over the bars, and he's down, and Zoe Cross is stuck in the corner as well. So McIntosh goes back into 8th. Zoe Cross is now in the 9th spot. And Trent Adams is trying to charge forward from 10th if he can get here. Not too many technical corners left, though. Zoe Cross has just got to try to cruise this thing in. McIntosh across in 8th. Zoe Cross goes over in 9th. Adams is going to miss out in 10th. Daniel Pazzo's 11th there. Anthony Pachone, Dalton Plessinger, Riley Hewen, Dylan Love, Tommy Delaire, Clay Alfrey, Bradley Clay, who ripped that whole shot and ends up DNF in this one. Alex Helms, Alex Cunningham, and that was it. Let's see if cuts affected anything inside of our top 9. Looks like Robert Wilson lost a spot to Trevor Spencer. That was for 4th. And that's it. Jacob Hubbard confirmed race winner, 250 West Heat number 2 here at the Seattle Replica SX, round number 13 of the MotoOption SX Series. But this is actually only round number 7 of the 250 West Region Championship. Wow, just looked over and saw we have over 700 live viewers. Awesome stuff. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. That is some great numbers that I love to see. Hopefully everybody's having a good time here tonight. Always enjoy seeing people around. And by the way, wanted to give a shout out. I forgot to do this at the beginning of the broadcast, but head over to forum.mxsimulator.com. If you head over to the racing part of the forum, there's actually a MX Simulator Fantasy series that is ran through there, similar to the ARM Fantasy Supercross League, where you pick the top 5 in a wild card, I believe. It's ran by a couple dudes that are pretty prominent and fast in this game, and they know their stuff, so they give you options to pick between the top 5 riders, and I believe it's just the 450 division, and then they give you a score at the end of the night. So kind of a fun way to get involved in the series. Definitely something to check out if you're interested. Or you could try to coax Steve Mathis into coding for this series, but I doubt he would do that, especially because poor old Mark's dog got laid off from his job, but hopefully he's doing okay. So I see you guys saying ban the bots, but I'm not seeing which one are the bots. Oh, Shyla? Ban the bots, and then they post a bunch of emojis. I see it, but I don't know who these people are. Oh, apparently I don't have admin to do that. Never mind. All right. I'm sorry. I guess we're going to have to deal with bots in here. I guess we could look at this lovely screen while we wait. All right. Again, Kellen Brower here in the booth. RacerX online content editor myself here at RacerX Illustrated, so bringing you guys the action tonight. But you guys could also check me out over at startyoursystems.com. That's where we run these races normally. And let's see if I can get back in game. So now it's time for the big boys. 450 heat number 1 coming up first. Just like the 250 division is going to be top 9 riders transferring through to that main event. All other runners will head to that last chance qualifier. And those LCQs are always a good time. A lot of chaos and action there. All right. So this one, a lot more, I think, heavy hitters in this one that you would normally expect to see. We've got Dominic Tiberino, who is, I think, still leading the championship in the East Coast right now. Jack Haley, who's your defending champion on the number 1, still looking for that first win of the season. Race Carlin, who was our fastest qualifier. Here's Jeremy Smith, everyone's favorite pickup in Pulp Fantasy. Colton Mitchell, Ian Holm, Hunter Root, Gunnar Fugler, just going through a couple of people. Hunter Root, again, Pulp Fantasy people will probably know this name. Austin Root is Hunter Root's brother, and Hunter Root is one of the best players ever to play this game. Root won the 2015 SX Championship, and he has won a ton of races, but you may know him as Austin Root's brother as well. Just trying to make some ties here to people you may know on the gate. All right, time to go racing 450 Heat 1 in Seattle. Off and running. Land rush. Haley got a good jump. Jeremy Smith has got a good line down the inside, and from the outside, it looks like Copeland on the 35 is going to get there, and he will indeed grab that hole shot. So Copeland on the 35 out front. Haley right there in second on the 1. Jeremy Smith on the 4 mixed in, and got a couple. Whoa, we got to change to the lead. Owen Hillman on the 170 jumps down the inside. So I think he got the 3 on-off triple quad line there, and that seems to be the preferred line if he can get it. So it's Hillman, Copeland, and Sean Smith, but Hillman's out of shape, and he gets crossed over and gets into Copeland, who goes down, so it gives Sean Smith the lead out front. So Smith goes to the front. Jeremy Smith, so Sean Smith and Jeremy Smith, 1 and 2. We also have Hillman right there on the 170, the 77 of Tiberino. Here is your front 4. How about it? Sean Smith on the 80, Veracco Machine. Not a name you see at the front often in these races. Time to rise and shine, though, and he is out here cruising with the lead, and he's going to go for this triple quad and get it. Man, these 450s seem like they get over that quad relatively easily. So Jeremy Smith right there in second, Tiberino third, and Hillman just got passed by Haley for fourth. We got Adam Holm on the 17. He's coming through in sixth, and Hillman just cannot get these whoops correct. Second lap in a row, he made a mess of them, and now he jumps into the back of Smith, who was down. Sean Smith was down, as was Jack Haley. We have Casey Ohlert and Ash Deering on the 20 also getting mixed in here. Meanwhile, change for the lead up front. It is now Jeremy Smith, JS4 as we call him in this game. SwapMotoLive.com, number 4, leading the T-Gritty, number 77. These two are former teammates right here in this game. Out front, Tiberino in second. Right on cue, though, talking about real-life pros and being good at the game. This man right here is one of the best at them. 2013 250 Outdoor National Champion, 2-time 250 SX Champion in this game, and one of the winningest riders in this game's history. Man, his forks are so good, dude. He has got no bottom shaft on those forks right now, and he's getting out of shape in the whoops because of it. Check out those bottom of the forks. No tie to the wheel right now. Not sure if that was a mistake on the... Oh, man, maybe they did the front fork upper files wrong in the game? I don't know. That's funny, though. So Adam Holm has moved up into third on the Panini Motorsports number 17. Jack Haley's right behind him in fourth, and we got 3 riders coming over the line together. It is Ohlert, Deering, and Sean Smith down the inside. Ash Deering. Like I said, Sean Smith still in here. Here's Race Carlin. Fastest qualifier, the general we call him. He just tucks the front wheel there. And down the inside goes MX Simulator's fastest woman, Sabrina Ritzler. So I know, again, like a lot of you guys new to this series maybe don't know much of the history of this game, but Ritzler, longtime pro in this game. Rider out of Arizona, won a main event in this 450 division back in 2012. And she's been at it for a long time. She's actually pretty good in real life, too. I've seen some GoPro footage of her riding, and she's a pretty good rider, so good to see that she still gets after it in this game. Little history lesson there as Carlin tucks the front wheel behind her, and Hunter Root is actually going by Jack Haley, who was off the side of the track, and Haley just now got back on the track, so he's right back here. Looks like in about 12th now, right behind Copeland, but in front of Sean Smith, who has just been going backwards. And we have Colton Mitchell back here. Colton Mitchell, third in the championship standings. He is running in about the 14th spot right now. So how about that for Mitchell? Not a good start to his night either. These guys definitely want to go through to the main event right in the midst of this championship fight. Last thing they want to do is have to go through that last chance qualifier, especially if another heavy hitter like Jack Haley ends up in that LCQ. We got to stack up before the whoops, and Copeland tucks the front wheel. It's Ohlert. Isaiah Dickerson on the 26 is in there, and wow, well out of shape. How did Dickerson land that? He backflipped, like underflipped after the whoops and landed on 2 wheels backwards, but he's still up. He just got passed by a couple people. We also have William St. Laurent, the rider out of Canada, on the Mad Cape machine mixed in here just in front of Haley. As this is frantic action for the final transfer spot. This 450 class is really where it's at in this series. This is where a lot of the talent ends up going. And St. Laurent currently in that final transfer spot, but Haley would like a word with him about that as he's going to pull up alongside. Let's see if he cuts under and gets that triple on. He does not, and St. Laurent down the inside actually did get it clean, so he's going to be able to pull out a little bit And Haley actually closes back up because St. Laurent did not get the quad out. So Haley trying to close up on that final transfer spot. Ollard on the 66 just cleared them. Hunter Root was also at the bottom of your screen. But Haley and Mitchell, both guys second and third in the championship standings, would love to go through out of this one. They are 10th and 11th right now, though. They have got to make a move. I'm sorry. Oh, no, they are 10th and 11th still. Haley down the inside, might put a block here on St. Laurent down the start straight. St. Laurent around the outside, holds the spot right there. What a move. And gets the triple from the tighter inside line. Triples out here. And Haley just applying so much pressure, but just cannot quite get it there. And now St. Laurent actually got the rhythm lane pretty clean and closed up on Casey Ollard in front of him. A little short there. Mid-triple, and actually St. Laurent just messed up the triple out. So Haley right back, getting into the mix, trying to go down the right side of the whoops. Going to be bar to bar with St. Laurent, who's going to have the preferred inside line here. Haley ends up going outside. Let's see if he can use this on-off to his advantage. Not many people using it, but Haley trying to. St. Laurent with a beautiful scrub on the triple, holds the position for the time being. And meanwhile, Casey Ollard just ahead of this is just going, oh man, what is going on behind me? There is absolute madness as Haley still trying to get into the final transfer spot, but just has not done it yet. Colton Mitchell also right there, back in 11th. White flag out, by the way, our leaders. As Haley goes down the inside, he's going to get the quad triple line and get around St. Laurent. Over top of him goes Colton Mitchell into 10th. And now these guys need to find their way through. Up front, though, Jeremy Smith takes the win, 450 heat number 1. So he has got himself a ticket to the main event. He'll be first or second gate pick. Holmes second, Deering third, Root fourth. Ritzer is going through. She's in fifth. Sixth for Ollard, seventh Haley, eighth Mitchell now, and ninth St. Laurent. So 10th. Oh, Tiberino went down at the end of the whoops. Man, what happened to Tiberino on that last lap? He was in second at the start of the lap. Not going to the main event, though. Instead, it was St. Laurent, Mitchell, Haley, Ollard, Ritzler, Root, Deering, Holmes, Smith going through instead. And JS4 picking up that win in this heat race. Again, you'll see him outdoors this year when we eventually go racing on that SGB Maxxis Babbitt's Kawasaki team. Right now, he's riding for the SwapMotoLive.com team here. Holmes second, Deering, Root, Ritzler, Ollard, Haley Mitchell, and St. Laurent waiting on cuts. Ray's Carlin missed out by 0.8 of a second. He would love to go into this main event through cuts. Dylan Copeland, I don't remember St. Laurent cutting a lot, and it looks like he did not cut. Well, he had 0.44 seconds of cuts, but Carlin had 1.30 seconds of cuts. So that changed that complexity. Tiberino, Copeland, Specs, Sean Smith, Eduardo Simos, Isaiah Dickerson. That's kind of a surprise there. Ian Holm, Owen Hillman, Joseph Pilsner, and Gunnar Fugler, all just a couple of the names that will be headed to that last chance qualifier and try to go through. All right, 450 heat number 1 is done. 450 heat number 2 is coming up next. And then we're going to go into one of the best races of the night. Those will be those last chance qualifiers coming up. Again, thanks everybody for joining us here. Round number 13 of the MotoOption SX series. Seattle replica track. Again, my load screen is the Detroit replica track, so I apologize for that. But hopefully you guys are having a great time tonight. Just a good way to take your mind off it and enjoy some racing. Whether you guys think this is dumb or not, it's all in fun. At the end of the day, it's just to get people together to play a game, have a little bit of fun, and have something to talk about while all this chaos is going on with the world. Eventually, we'll be back racing for real, but for right now, it's just kind of fun to do something a little bit different. And big thanks to everybody at RacerX Online and RacerX Illustrated for deciding to put this on. It wasn't really much of my decision to do this. This was more of a collaborative decision with the team. to get everybody together, and they thought this whole gaming thing was a good idea for the time being. And obviously, I think some of you guys maybe who watch stuff on Racer X Illustrated saw the excuse me, the virtual Supercross race that we ran, AI Supercross in Monster Energy Supercross 3, where Jason Wygant called that race. I tried tonight, folks. I did definitely try to coax Jason Wygant into broadcasting with me. I think that would be not only really fun, but hilarious too, just to see him call a sim race. But I don't want to push it on him. You know, I'm pretty used to a lot of the competitors in this series and how this race runs. As he would be learning an entire new format and series, and he would be staying up pretty late. It's already 10:14 where he lives, so I didn't want to push the envelope there. But maybe one day we'll get Weege in the booth. All right. In this heat, we will see our current points leader, Jeremy Siebold over there. Siebold, by the way, again, just to relate this back to people who are maybe watching this for the first time, is another really good real-life racer. He's not just a name that is only known through these video games. He's actually raced Loretta's a couple times, I believe, and was a pretty good mini racer. I don't think he rides the races that much anymore, as he's gotten a little bit older, but definitely a name that some of you may have heard of before. Ludwig Bodden's out here tonight. Logan Leitzel, another name. He won the main event last week in Detroit in that 250 division, and he made his pro debut at Daytona before we ended up going postponed with the full Supercross series. But it's time to go racing here. 450 Heat 2 underway. Terrible jump from Leitzel. It's actually going to come down from the inside, it looks like, as Whelan was trying to get there on the 34. Fabio Guido goes deep in yard sales into turn number 1. So it's Eagland who grabs a hole shot. Colby Eagland on the MV Films number 24. Whelan right behind him. And down the inside went Walter Gebhardt. He just took down Jeremy Siebold. Siebold getting stacked up in the corner with Fjellberg, and now a couple riders getting together. Oh man, absolute chaos. Everybody stacked up in this corner. Tyler Lang, James Ohashi, Fjellberg all trying to get going. Meanwhile, up front, Eagland getting passed momentarily by Whelan. Let's see if Whelan holds on to the spot or if Eagland can fight back. Trying to move down the inside, and will make that pass stick as he goes right back into the lead and will lead across the line. One lap in the books, about 8 more still to go. So Whelan trying to set sail after Eagland out front. Now Eagland is normally a competitor in our 250 East division. In fact, he won the Triple Crown at Arlington earlier this year, and I believe he sits 3rd in that 250 East division point standings right now. But as we run, he is leading this 450 heat race, doing so in styles. He's actually opened up a slight gap on Bryce Whelan, a little bit of breathing room there. Much more so, I feel, than in the 250 division. Those little gaps are huge in this 450 class. When you don't have someone right behind you breathing down your neck like that, it is a difference maker as Leitzel goes into the pole on the inside there, and it's just a slow motion tip over as a lot of the field goes by. Siebold was one of them, but also our 2-time SX champion here, Alexis Leclerc, made a move, and he just scrubbed down the triple hard as Reed Young tries to go up the inside. Leclerc, as you can see, Rockstar Husky. So this team right here is actually managed by Arminas Jasikonis, which is a name a lot of you probably are familiar with. He is the MXGP factory Husqvarna racing rider in the MXGP series for the Ice One Rockstar Energy Husqvarna team over there. And he actually helped put this team together. So Arminas Jasikonis, not only a sim player, but a sim entrepreneur, as he put this team together and hired on, essentially, one of the best to ever do it in this game, Alexis Leclerc, the Frenchman, 2-time SX champion, 2-time national champion in this game, multi-time European champion, and one of the true innovators of this game. He actually, at one point, he had a system set up where he would change setups by pressing hotkeys on his keyboard, and it caused the game creator to change the way the game is ran, so you can no longer do hotkeys to change setups like in midair. He would usually use a hole shot setup and then change his setup midair on a Supercross triple when he could take his hand off the controller. And then the game creator decided, no sir, that is not going to be allowed, so he made it mandatory that you have to be stopped for 2 seconds before you can change your setup. And that's all just because Leclerc did that. Pretty innovative thinking, to be honest with you. It's basically like having a hole shot device, and he used to rip hole shots daily. Still gets pretty good starts as he absolutely plows through Zach Prokop there and then cuts the track, so he's going to get some cuts from that one. Meanwhile, it's Eagland out front, though. 3.5 minutes down. 2.5 minutes and a lap to go. And Eagland commanding a 4.6 second lead right now over Bryce Whelan. And actually looks like Whelan under... No, I'm sorry, that was not under pressure. 92 ride. Disconnecting there. That is not Adam Cianciarulo, though. Leclerc, Seabolt. Seabolt hot on his heels, but he's going to come up short here and not be able to get the quad out. That's going to allow Prokop to quad to his inside. No, Prokop not able to get there. Oh, a little out of shape there for Seabolt in the rhythm lane. And it actually caused Prokop to miss the rhythm lane as well. So they're going to go nearly side by side through the whoops. Prokop, another real fast dude in real life. Raced at the Loretta Lynn's ranch a couple times as well. A lot of these guys, it's I know of them through this game, but I met them at Loretta Lynn's, so I didn't really meet a lot of them in person except for meeting them when I went to Loretta Lynn's working and met a couple of them. So kind of funny stories there. Seabolt trying to hold off different lines here, and Prokop's got the preferred option. Seabolt's going to try to pull alongside, but he's not going to get the quad out, and Leclerc just went down. Leclerc on the 7 is on the ground. There goes Leitzel through on the 18. Seabolt just tucked the front wheel on corner exit. Leclerc is still going to get up in about 8th spot. No, I'm sorry, 6th spot. Reed Young right behind him in 7th. Jeremy Shipley is in 8th, and Fjellberg is in 9th, but Roy Mitchell on the 25 is hot on his heels. And Leitzel getting back on the track from a fall, gets in right behind Shipley there. He's right in front of Fjellberg now. Fjellberg, the rider out of Norway, trying to close up on Leitzel. And Shipley, one of the many OGs in this game that still gets after it. He has, I believe, 8 Supercross victories in this game to his credit. A lot of them came back in 2012 and 2013 when he was a perennial title contender. These days, not as common, but still very fast in his own right, and they all just went around Reed Young, so that moves all these guys into transfer spots. In fact, Reed Young is actually in transfer spot at 9th, as Fjellberg and Shipley check each other through that rhythm lane. Oh, Fjellberg sliding it through that corner. And here comes Prokop trying to fight back. Oh my goodness, Shipley 12 o'clock Aaron through the rhythm lane. Prokop gets sideways and goes down. That's going to cost him a transfer spot as Tyler Lang goes into the final spot now on the 14. So Lang scrubbing down the triple right behind Reed Young. White flag waving for these guys this time by. And then when the checkers come out, we'll have 9 going through the main event. Things kind of settling down. We'll take a peek back out front and see Colby Eagland, who has all but dominated this heat race. Had a little hiccup there earlier on, battling with Bryce Whelan, but has held on since, and he will come through to take the win here. 250 heat number 2 belongs to Colby Eagland. Whelan will in fact pick up second, but he lost 6 seconds at the end of it. Alexis Leclerc regroups from his fall. He comes across the line in 3rd. Points leader Jeremy Seabolt looks like he is going to pick up a 4th spot here. Logan Leitzel will pick up 5th. Fjellberg across the line 6th. Reed Young 7th. 8th Shipley. 9th Lang. Roy Mitchell the first to miss out. Walter Gebhardt, that's a big name not going through. 5th in the championship coming in here. Ohashi, Zach Prokop, Fabio Guida, we saw him sending it into turn number 1 and he went down. Billy Kunitz Ludwig Botten, Jeremy Cohenauer, Carter Hutcherson, Tanner Rogers, and Seth Garrett. Man, I can't remember the last time I saw Ludwig Botten out here. That's cool to see, though. See some OGs coming back, making their way into the series. Man, I'm impressed. This is awesome to see how many viewers we still have. Heat racing action is now complete. Last chance qualifiers are coming up next, and we still have almost 700 live viewers. That is just about our record on SYS for live viewers, but I know we had more than that. We were almost at 800. Perhaps we were over 800. I didn't get a chance to see. Oh, out of virtual memory. That'll happen. Let's go ahead and load the game back. Would have been a good time to take out my title image, but oh well, already back in. We'll run it. But yeah, good to see everybody tonight. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. A little bit of fun action tonight. Kellen Brower here bringing you guys the action in studio. Live on RacerX Illustrated on YouTube. And we're just having a good time tonight, playing a little bit of MX Simulator. Again, if you're new to this game, if you're new to this series is actually ran every year. We've been doing it back since 2010. And just some fun little replica track racing, getting the guys out there challenging each other. And it's really a mix of pretty much the 80 best players in this game actually going off against each other. And it just so happens that about 5 or so of them are real life pros. So that's kind of cool. But just so happy to see people here tonight. Hopefully you guys, like I said, are having a blast, just taking your mind off things. We're going racing. It's really the only racing we have right now, unfortunately. But it's nice racing, right? Could be worse. And again, just to reiterate, I know, and people who play this game know, this is not a true simulation game. We don't have dirt bikes in our living rooms that we're leaning on and shifting and pulling back on and twisting the throttle. That's what would make it a true simulation game. Could that happen someday? Maybe. It's not out of the question. But for right now, these guys all play with controllers, and it's a very, very intricate and detailed and very hard game to learn how to play. So just because it's not a true simulator doesn't mean it's not a hard, intuitive video game to learn. And what I've noticed through the years with this game is it actually seems that people who are actually good at riding and racing in real life tend to pick up this game a little bit faster. Talked a little bit about Jeremy Smith after he won his heat race, but yeah, I mean, like he picked up this game so fast I couldn't believe it. Like, I think he finished second in his first ever pro race and then won his second ever pro race, and that's when he only had the game for a couple of months. Incredibly fast how fast he was able to pick it up and not really falter from any of that. All right, back in. LCQ's coming up. That is definitely true. If you're riding a mock bike just to play sim, you should probably just ride in real life. I agree with that statement. Believe me, guys, I am on the board that I wish I could go riding. I wish we could go racing this weekend. I'm fully on board that I wish we could be doing real life stuff right now. I get it. However, I also understand the situation that we're in and know that if we're going to provide entertainment, at least there's a couple different ways that we can do it. This is one of the many ways that we're going to try to keep you guys entertained over here at RacerX Online for the coming weeks, while the racing has been completely halted for the time being. So, yeah, why not just kick back and enjoy a little bit of video game action? Never hurt, right? All right, 250 last chance qualifier time, 4 going through. It's a battle to the death here in Seattle. Looks like 45's getting to the corner first, but he's going deep. Hunter Porch tucks down the inside, and he will get that hole shot. 872 is right behind him, but he ended up making a mistake. We got a case in the middle of that rhythm. Oh, and another rider going down. That looked like Solace, who was in second and ends up going onto the ground. Michael Mudge is here with Brandon Holmes and Jake Warden in transfer spots early. Warden gets that quad triple double line. Actually has to check up in singles so he doesn't get into the back of Brandon Holmes there. We also have Clay Alfrey and Trent Adams mixed up in here. Clay Alfrey and Aaron Plessing are pretty good buddies. They used to play this game a lot, but Alfrey hits the deck, and he is going to have to try to regroup from that. We also have a absolute yard sale in the whoops going on back here. Discount gear scattered around the whoops. Go find yourself a nice wheel, perhaps a boot, maybe a helmet or a set of goggles. It's everywhere back there. So Hunter Porch has now moved to the lead. Michael Mudge is up into second. Brandon Holmes tripling in behind him is in third. And Trent Adams is up in fourth. He's got Jonathan Hughes on that 45 right behind him. So Hughesy was to the corner first, but went a little bit long. And now having to regroup, he's going to go quad, triple through here and make the move into fourth. Alex Helms on the 492 getting in the mix here. Oh, and then he gets landed on, and Brandon Holmes was also down. Did Alex Helms rode out of that? So there's your cut and dry definition that this is a video game, folks. Someone just got landed on, and I think it actually boosted him forward. But Helms now has a pretty sizable gap in fourth right now. So Helms going to try to hold off from Alanis Salas. Teammates of the Lexus Leclerc on that Rockstar Husky team, again owned by Arminas Jasakonis. But Salas, really good rider and fellow Lithuanian. Definitely wants to make it into this main event tonight if he can. Right now he's trying to run down Alex Helms, who is in that 4 spot. Oh, Helms is down mid-rhythm, and Salas lands on him but keeps going. Now we got a plethora of guys getting in the mix here. Oh, and he gets teed up. It's Alfrey getting stood up in the corner. Now Riley Hewen's trying to come through. And Alanis Salas all the while opens up a slight gap in fourth. Nobody even close in front of him. So it's really down to the battle between him and everybody behind him for this final transfer spot, because there is pretty sizable gap going on right now. Just take a peek back up front and see it is still Porch pulling away on the 47. Porch actually finished second earlier this year at 8-2. Michael Mudge, Jonathan Hughes, and then Alanis Salas. But Salas got to be careful here. Here comes the Aussie, Riley Hewen. Ewan's going to take that option 2-4-3-3 line. It's faster if you can get this triple out clean. And he's closed up on a lot of people here. Mudge going to be under attack here for this final transfer spot. Mudge going over top, gets by Jonathan Hughes, and then Hewen goes through. It's Hughes and Hewen with, I think that's Daniel Paz on the 502 closing in. Oh man, everybody getting out of shape in the whoops. And look at Daniel Paz going to make a 2-for-1 pass in and out of the mechanics area. And Hewen cuts back underneath and puts him on the ground. He's taking none of that. So Hewen goes into the final transfer spot. And now let's see if the 335 machine can hold on. Or can Jonathan Hughes close it down? This is the Australian rider of Hewen trying to hold off the British rider of Jonathan Hughes. Just to give you an idea, I mean, those two are literally in their home countries playing this game right now, competing against each other. That's what happens in sim. It brings people together, I guess. So let's reset things. It is Porch, who is getting 2 laps to go here. Time will expire next time by. Salas up to second. Mudge is in third. Riley Hewen in fourth. Jonathan Hughes in fifth. Then we'll look a little further back and see Alex Helms right here with Trent Adams going through the whoops. Adams going to yard sail and go down. Clay Alfrey is going to go on by. Brandon Holmes. Pretty good drive through the whoops. Seems like the whoops is really the spot that is biting these 250 guys. The 450 guys maybe not as having as much problems through those whoops tonight, I should say, as the 250 division is. Not sure if that's a power issue. These guys maybe not enough speed being gained out of the corners. Either way, definitely seen a lot more crashing as Alex Helms goes over the bars Oh, Jonathan Hughes just went down. That is probably going to sign, seal, and deliver this Final Four in this LCQ. Hewen running in 4th. Trying to run down Mudge in 3rd. Oh. It seems like these 250 guys kind of struggling with those whoop sections. Let's go ahead and go on board with Hewen here for a quick little tour of the racetrack. Up and over that finish line, jump, get this single into the corner, they swing wide and use that embankment. That's another thing we haven't seen much of tonight because the heat races are so fast. The track resets every time, but there actually is terrain deformation on the track. It's not very noticeable right now because it resets after every single race, but we'll see later on in these main events, in the 450 main event specifically, deep ruts developing in these corners, and it definitely will change the way that some of these guys race the track. It actually speeds up the track a little bit before it slows it down. We'll see that going on later as Solis goes up and over the bars. And he's going to cough up 2nd. Meanwhile, Hunter Porch takes an easy victory to the line as he crosses over, wins that last chance qualifier. Looks like Michael Mudd's going to hold off Riley Hewen here for 2nd. But Hewen going to be satisfied with a 3rd because he's headed to that main event. Alana Solis should have enough space here to hold off for 4th. Just got to get this corner clean. And he does. Solis to the main event. Jonathan Hughes, he's going to be just short. He's going to get a phone call from Moser this week. Alex Helms, Brendan Holmes, Daniel Paz, Trent Adams, Tommy Delaire, Daniel Irvine, Anthony Pachone, Clay Alfrey, Alex Cunningham, Jacob Warden, Zach Ginter, Dylan Love, Maxime Vanderbeek, Jack Gatlin, just to name a few who will not be headed to the main event tonight in Seattle. All right, cuts are in. Let's just make sure that our top 4 didn't change, and they did not. Still Porch, Mudge, Hewen, and Solis to the main event here tonight. Seattle replica round 13, MotoOption SX. Big shout out MotoOption Clothing. Like I said, the 9th year title sponsor of this series. They've always been a huge supporter of the MX Simulator program, and just want to give a big thanks to them for always being supportive and helping out with this. It means a ton that they're always on board every year, bringing us cool sponsorship, but also offering some prizes up for these guys. All right, time for the final last chance qualifier. It's the 450 LCQ coming up next. Kellen Brower here in studio for Racer X Illustrated, bringing you guys the action tonight, live on Racer X. So glad you guys could join us. Seeing chat going through, seems like everybody's having a good time. Unfortunately, the bots seem to be a bit of an annoying nuisance here, but I digress. So 450 LCQ, big hitters in this one. We know for sure Walter Gebhardt, who's 5th in the championship standings, is in this last chance qualifier, so we're going to have to keep an eye on him. Everybody else around him, though, and in front of him in the points, seems like they got through cleanly. So really down to watching Gebhardt and how he's going to do in this one. But I know there's a couple other big names in this one that we should keep an eye on, so when we get the chance and we're loaded in, we'll take a look at those. All right, you guys ready for a last chance qualifier? Always some of the best racing action that you'll see are these LCQs. Obviously, they're a blast in real life too. Some of the absolute sends that we see riders try to do. 2017 East Rutherford comes to mind with some absolute sendage. But it's usually no different in these MX Simulator races. In fact, more often we see bigger sends because these guys obviously don't have the risk of getting hurt like they would in real life. So we see some 5th gear sends in the whoops, some guys hitting bigger lines that maybe aren't normal lines just to try to make a move. Generally speaking, they're usually pretty fun, so I apologize for the boring last chance qualifier that we just had in the 250 division. But this 450 class might provide a little bit more fireworks for us to talk about. All right, getting loaded in. There we are. And whoops, wrong button. Disco Rico, and back in we go for this 450 LCQ. Let me quickly run through Simos, Hillman, Sean Smith, Tiberino, Fugler, Gebhardt, Hutcherson, Dickerson, Garrett, Prokop, Mitchell, Copeland, Rogers, Guido, Ohashi, Botten, Kunitz, Pilsner, Speck, and Carlin. So yeah, we have a couple big names in here. Carlin, Gebhardt as well, Isaiah Dickerson, who's the defending 250 East champion and currently second in the points on that East Coast series. He would like to make it into this main event as well. Jeremy Cohenauer, president of Race Factory Gaming, and I believe he's sitting 8th in the points right now, so another name that would love to make it through. But man, oh man, I think Walter Gebhardt is the one we got to pay attention to on that number 5 system decal machine down the inside. It is the 450 last chance qualifier right now. Not a good jump for Carlin. Good jump for Copeland, though, on the inside. 35 pushes everybody a little wide and causes a mini pile up there. Copeland will get the whole shot. Cohenauer's right behind him there on the 13 in second. And then Cohenauer misses the rhythm, so he's going to have to check up a little bit. There is Gebhardt on the 5 getting into the mix, but he just got a little bit of a punt there from Dominic Tiberino, who is our 250 East points leader. Copeland now leads. Cohenauer goes up to 2nd. Gebhardt 3rd, and Tiberino in 4th. Down the inside went Isaiah Dickerson on Sean Smith, and now Dickerson out of shape in the whoops, and Smith ends up going down. Dickerson ends up off the side of the track. A couple riders going through. Gunnar Fugler was one of them, Billy Kunitz, and Race Carlin, fastest qualifier that we saw earlier. Getting mixed in here as we cross the finish line, lap number 1. These guys going 5 minutes and a lap, top 4 transfer. And right now the top 4 is nose to tail out front. Cohenauer leading the way. He's got it away from Copeland. We got Gebhardt and Tiberino on the 77 right there, all mixed together. Could throw a blanket over our leaders. Different options as well going through this first rhythm lane. Tiberino's going to bust this quad, get down the inside of Gebhardt, and make this move. Let's see if he can make it stick with the triple out, and he just gets on. And they go over this triple and triple into the next corner. These rhythm lanes are huge in that first couple sections. So through the whoops, it's Cohenauer, Copeland. Tiberino goes down, and he takes Gebhardt with him. Walter Gebhardt is on the ground, 5th in the points entering tonight. This is the last thing he wanted to have happen. Just an unfortunate circumstance there. Unavoidable contact with Tiberino, who was flipping through the whoops. And talked about it in the 250 class about how the 450 guys seem to be getting through them a little bit better. But instead, it was Tiberino who ends up going down and taking Walter Gebhardt with him. We also got another rider down, but that is on the other side of the racetrack. Not sure who that was. Looked like an MV Films rider. Gebhardt almost right there into the back of the 379 of Ludwig Botten. And here comes Ohashi on the 71 getting the rhythm lane clean. He's going to jump over Botten, who went down. Gebhardt a little short on the triple. He's going to get together there with Dominic Tiberino. They both have to check up through that rhythm lane because they actually both made the same mistake. They went a little long on that first triple. Ohashi out of shape in the whoops. Gebhardt also had a small bobble, and then he tucks the front wheel and goes down. Roy Mitchell happened to evade on the outside there on the 25 Jack Daniels Racing machine. Gebhardt trying to find the move down the inside of Mitchell. Let's see if he checks up and goes inside here. He will. Dickerson there on the 26 trying to get into the mix as Mitchell gets blocked off down the start straight by Gebhardt, and Mitchell just going to have to funnel in here and try to hope that they start catching the groups ahead. Dickerson in the background here. This is 8, 9, 10. So this group isn't even with our lead train right now. It's still Cohenauer, Copeland right there in 2nd. Race Carlin is in 3rd, and Billy Kunitz is in 4th. Just had a slide out there from Gunnar Fugler in the background. He was in 5th. And now Walter Gebhardt moves up into the 6th spot as the 170 of Owen Hillman is a lap down between these guys. Roy Mitchell just off the back in the whoops there. But Gebhardt needs 2 more spots to go to this main event. Right now, it is not looking too good for him. That's going to be a spot right there on Fugler if he can hold it. Fugler's going to try to cut back and block the inside here. Gebhardt's going to have to swing wide and concede the position back. And Hillman almost launches into Gebhardt. Triple and quad there for Fugler, but he's short and he goes down. That's going to be a free position for Gebhardt, but he still has to go run down Billy Kunitz, who's in that final transfer spot. And there's a bit of a gap going on between these two. Kunitz 5 seconds down to the leaders. Gebhardt is 12 seconds down. Do the math. 7-second lead for Kunitz in the final transfer spot. And looking at about 2 laps to go as we cross the line this time by. So unless a mistake happens here for Kunitz, Copeland, Carlin, or Kohenauer actually just went down out front. Jeremy Kohenauer's on the ground. He's going to lose a couple spots, and Kunitz actually gets into the back of him. That's going to hold these guys up and really allow Walter Gebhardt to close this gap down, and he's going to get the triple on here, so this is going to be a big time saver. And he's going to get right up on the back wheel of Jeremy Kohenauer as they enter the whoops. This is going to be the battle for the final transfer spot, but Gebhardt slides out. Gebhardt slides out, and we got Kunitz yard sailing at the end of the whoops. He goes up and over the bars. Is that going to be enough? Can Gebhardt get there in time? Yes, he does. Gebhardt into 4th. And also making a move. No, I'm sorry. Kunitz trying to move Tanner Rogers out of the way. Rogers is a lap down, but Kunitz needs to go get Walter Gebhardt to get into the final transfer spot. White flag is now waving. Only a lap remains. Gebhardt just got to try to stay on 2 wheels here. Peek back out front, see that Carlin has established a pretty big lead for himself out here. Looks like he is going to take this last chance qualifier victory with relative ease as he gets to the whoops pretty clean. And Carlin's going to bring it down here in this LCQ, take the victory, race Carlin to the main event. Dylan Copeland looks safe, as does Kohenauer, and Gebhardt's just trying to make it a couple more corners, but Roy Mitchell's going to give it everything he's got here. Gebhardt's just got to get this triple clean and block the corner, and he's going to be good to go. Walter Gebhardt through the final turn, heads to the main event with a 4th in the LCQ. Roy Mitchell going to be just short. Some guy named Moser should be giving him a phone call. Isaiah Dickerson, man, that's crazy. And Dominic Tiberino, that is 2nd and 1st respectively in the 250 East Championship right now. Not headed to the main event here tonight. Pretty wild stuff. Caden Speck going through in 8th. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Joseph Pilsner and Gunnar Fugler having a bit of a debate there. Not sure what happened that provoked that one. Zach Prokop, Ludwig Botten, Carter Hutchison thrown down on the triple. Billy Kunitz, unfortunately not going through. Ian Holm, Tanner Rogers, Owen Hillman. Oh, landed. Nice. Fabio Guido, Sean Smith, Eduardo Simmons. Let's take a look at those transfer spots for cuts. Gebhardt, Kohenauer, Copeland, and Carlin going through. All right. Wow. Race Carlin had 4.5 seconds of cuts, but he still got the win after those cuts were applied. All right, folks. Are you guys ready? Main event time coming up next. By the way, main event hole shots tonight. Thanks to Alex Efforts, ATE Studios. Going to be giving away $5 each to our Hole Shot Award winners. So who can pick up that RaceFactorGaming.com Hole Shot Award in these main events, we'll be finding out soon, and they'll be $5 richer after that. So big shout out Alex Efforts for jumping in and helping out there. Always cool to have like a Hole Shot Award or a Lap Leader Award or something like that, just to make it a little bit more entertaining than just the race. The race is always good, but little added stuff here and there. All right, folks, 250 main event coming up. For those of you that are regulars in chat and know this series well enough, let's see some winner picks. We got 607 people hanging out here live on RacerX Illustrated again tonight. Big shout out RacerX Online for allowing us to put this together. But who you guys got? Who's going to win this 250 main event tonight in Seattle? Should be a fun one, no doubt. A lot of interesting players on hand. I'll try to give you guys a quick rundown really quick once we load back in here of the guys, so maybe you can try to pick one out for yourself before we drop the gate. Of course, some of the bigger hitters like Braden Carter are here tonight. He's won a lot of these races. Not necessarily a guy you'd want to overlook in this situation, especially with his dominant heat race victory. All right, I see some different names coming up in chat. We got a Trevor Schaefer pick. We got Rogan McIntosh, Carter Hutcherson. I like it. I like it. People are into it. They're picking different people. It's not just a Carter show out here, although it might just be a Carter show in the main event. We don't know. Again, these guys will go 15 minutes plus a lap. And while fatigue is not a thing in this game, I can promise you that. Definitely a challenge, I would say, to play this game consecutively well. It's one of those that you get in a groove and you can play it pretty well for about 10 minutes, and then once you pass a certain point, it's pretty hard to keep your groove going. You kind of get tunnel vision and stuff like that. So look for the second half of these races to really develop some interesting storylines with guys either getting more or less just losing focus, making more mistakes, things like that. We got McIntosh, Robert Wilson, Riley Hewen, Alana Salas, Luke Sullivan, Kevin Gonzalez, Hunter Porch, Michael Mudge, Daniel Mills, Chase Blakely, Jacob Hubbard, just to name a few of the guys out on the track here tonight. Of course, a lot of eyes are on Braden Carter. Can't clinch tonight, but could clinch at our next round in Denver. He is that far out front in the points. And here he is right now on the 32. And the question begs to be asked, if he clinches early, does he do anything special? Sometimes we see these guys race 125s once they clinch. I remember Jeremy Seabolt doing that when he won his 250 championships. Some guys just choose to go straight to the 450 class. They've won the 250 championship. Now it's time to prepare themselves for the 450 class. There is some point-out rules in this series, but I don't know if anybody's going to hit that this year. So it's going to be interesting to see what Carter does once he potentially wraps up this title. But it's time to go. It is the 7th round of the 250 West Championship in MX Simulator, and it starts right now in Seattle. Oh, a couple guys lurching at the gate caused a flinch. The 192's got a good line down the middle, but it's Gonzalez who gets to the corner first. He gets bumped wide, and Braden Carter's going to pick up that RaceFactoryGaming.com whole shot award as he comes through, and he's leading Tanner Thorson, who's on the 410 in second. Carter going a little deep on that triple there. But it's Carter from Thorson out front, and $5 richer is Braden Carter now as he's picked up that whole shot award. We got Jacob Hubbard getting passed by a couple people. Devin Davis putting a block pass there on Jake Rose. Thorson going down out of second. Somehow saves it as he was flying backwards through the whoops there. He's going to lose a couple of positions. It puts Davis up into second, and that's Hubbard in third with Daniel Mills on the 31 in fourth. Although Mills might have a line here on Hubbard, he will. And Thorson gets stacked up in the corner behind them. The 243 is in the mix here. That's Hunter Braun. And Thorson making a couple mistakes here. He might be a bit nervous up here in the front. Benjamin Saves also goes through, and I see Jake Rose there in the background. All the while, Braden Carter already stretching out his lead out front. 4-second lead. We're only a minute and 12 seconds into this race. And Devin Davis was off the side of the track, so he just got passed. It is a JDR 1-2 right now. Daniel Mills, the teammate of our points leader, Braden Carter. And they are loving life right now. Another day at the test track for them. Devin Davis puts a block pass there on Hubbard as Mills getting sideways in the whoops. This guy's kind of hopping through there. Benjamin Saves on the 165 would like to get into the discussion here if he can. Hubbard trying to block those inside lines. Davis holding on to a strong third. Hubbard with a nice big whip over the triple there. Scrubbing down the finish line jump. Let's see if Benjamin Saves can come up with a line here to make a move on Hubbard. Maybe he just kind of blocks his line in one of these wide open corners. Says, no siree, you are not going to be tripling into this section. All the while, they're keeping Devin Davis honest as everybody triples on off into this rhythm lane. It's this quad that they want to get, though. And it seems like they all got it. No, actually, Saves didn't get it. And Davis cased it, so Hubbard got a great line there, closed up. Davis now trying to fight back by going 3-3 at the end of the rhythm here, and they're all right on D. Mills. This is a hot battle for second right now. Daniel Mills is in second. Hubbard is in third. Benjamin Saves trying to corral it together as he goes off the racetrack. And Jake Rose has just moved into fifth. Three-rider train here for the second spot right now, though. Little dualies over the triple. Devin Davis trying to peek down the inside of Hubbard, thinks better of it. Settles in behind him. Mills, Hubbard, Davis, Rose, in that order coming out of that corner. That is second, third, fourth, and fifth. Hubbard gets that triple clean, and Davis does not get it, and that cost him a spot. Jake Rose going up into the fourth spot for whip style. Maybe a pass for second brewing. Hubbard right on that back wheel there of Daniel Mills. They're going to go 2-4, 3-2 through this rhythm lane, and Hubbard's right alongside him. Who's going to get the better drive in the whoops? This is the make or break section. Look at Jake Rose getting into the mix here, and Rose has got a great line down the right side here as he's trying to make the move on Hubbard, and he does. Jake Rose coming out of nowhere to move into third, and he's all over Daniel Mills for second. So what does Mills have for a response here as he tries to hold off this terrific charge from the rider out of Great Britain, Jake Rose? No sign right now of Braden Carter. He is long gone at the front. The real action right now is for second as Mills trying to hold off Jake Rose. And Mills just had a nice clean triple out there, but he just messed up this rhythm lane. That might be the opportunity Rose was looking for, but Mills trying to fight back around the outside is going to hold the position. And does he get the triple on? Yes, he does. That triple on off triple line here. Clearly the preferred line. He just gained a ton of time on Rose, but now he's a little out of shape and the whoops kind of hopping him, and Rose, oh my goodness, a little out of shape at the end, and he's down. Jake Rose goes down. Hubbard goes through. Let's see if he loses another spot. He does. That's, I think, McIntosh on the 142. Devin Davis sliding through as well, and Luke Sullivan. And it is Davis side by side with McIntosh on the triple now. He's going to make that move, and McIntosh trying to defend as Luke Sullivan takes a peek down the inside as well. Davis blocking. Jake Rose trying to make the move. He's going to get back by Luke Sullivan and try to close up here onto the back of McIntosh. Both of them having a double single there. McIntosh, oh, big crash, cases the on-off and goes down. Benjamin Saves goes through as well. And look at this action here. It's a slow race to the corner as Jake Rose makes a move. Oh, and then he almost goes over the bars. Now Benjamin Saves is alongside of him. Nearly 3x3 over the triple. And backing out of the challenge with Saves, he figured just let them have the spot and try to go after them in the whoops here. Man, Benjamin Saves is not having a fun night in the whoops. He is all over the place. So Jake Rose has a bit of breathing room right now. Meanwhile, Braden Carter out front, 13.5 second lead, putting Zoe Cross a lap down right now. Man, we're only 6 minutes into this 15-minute plus 1 lap race, and Braden Carter laying waste to the field right now, just like he has done for pretty much this entire season. His teammate Daniel Mills still occupies second. Jacob Hubbard is in third. Devin Davis back here in fourth. And Jake Rose trying to mount a charge forward once again. Rose on the 822 here. Used to see him a little bit more frequently in this series, but he took a hiatus from racing, and now he's back with us. Hence the triple-digit number, but he just blows right by Devin Davis. A lot of guys struggling in this 250 class in the whoops. Jake Rose, other than that small crash at the end of the whoops a lap ago, seems to be getting through the whoops a lot cleaner than his counterparts. So Rose now setting sail. Davis going to try to funnel in behind him and hold off Luke Sullivan, who's closing in. Benjamin saves back here with Rogan McIntosh linked together. And Tanner Thorson, looks like he wraps up our top 10. Ivan Medina, Chase Blakely. Ooh, McIntosh just slid out on the start straight there. That might cost him another spot. McIntosh has to regroup here. And let's go ahead and do a really quick top 10 rundown. This one brought to you by the folks at Motivated Films, MV Films for short. They have their own team in this game, and they are owned by RaceFactoryGaming.com president Jeremy Cohenauer. MV Films, check them out. Some cool stuff, some cool vids, and a cool team. It actually was McIntosh who was in 10th, and it still is McIntosh in 10th because Robert Wilson's a lap down. So McIntosh right now running in the 10th spot, but he is absolutely yarding himself over the triple, so he just went down. Let's kind of reset things here. So he goes back to 11th. Who's in 10th now? It is Ivan Medina. So Ivan Medina, C4Designs.co, number 248, runs in 10th. Up the road to him is Chase Blakely, the BPC, number 21. He's in 9th. Tanner Thorson was in 8th on the Proline Designs, number 410. He just went down. He's going to go back to 9th and lose the 8th spot to Chase Blakely. 7th is a Luke Sullivan battling with Michael Mudge, who's a lap down. Sullivan on the Viraco number 65 is running right behind Devin Davis, who's in 6th. The Mad Cape LTF number 30. Davis been flirting with the podium here tonight. He's in 6th, though, right now, trying to fight his way back forward. Up into the top 5 we go. Benjamin saves on the 165 machine here, putting in a solid top 5 ride at the moment. Has half the race to go, but so far so good. Jake Rose, he's up here in 4th. The whip style number 822 looks like he actually just made a move into 3rd as Daniel Mills drops back to 4th. So Daniel Mills, Jack Daniels Racing number 31, is back here in the 4th spot. Rose up to 3rd. Jacob Hubbard, number 46 machine, runs in 2nd. And still leading, still your championship leader, and still dominating just like usual. Braden Carter on the Jack Daniels Racing number 32. Whew. Little case there on the triple means he's not going to get this triple out cleanly. In fact, that lead's come down, folks. It's only 10.2 seconds back to Hubbard. So Carter's clearly had a couple mishaps, either with lap traffic or going down by himself. It is coming unglued a little bit. He just made another mistake in that rhythm lane. Carter tripling there pretty cleanly. How is he through the whoops? Everybody else seems to be struggling. Carter kind of hopping him 2x2 a little bit, but straight as an arrow. It's definitely not a problem for him. Oh, and Hubbard just went down. So Hubbard, who was trying to close it down, just went down. We got a 3-rider battle for for second brewing. Oh, Daniel Mills goes down. Not sure if he contacted Jake Rose there, but he definitely went up and over the bars on that triple landing. Seemed like there was contact there, but perhaps not entirely sure. Either way, Jake Rose now settles into 3rd. He is going after Jacob Hubbard for 2nd. Let's go on board with Jake Rose for a minute and see what it looks like from his perspective. The whip style rider. So you can see these ruts developing a little bit more. Not so in these flat straightaways, but look here in this corner. You see this exit rut right here they kind of dive into. It's not as deep as he... Oh, and down goes Rose. Off the bike crash. Does he lose 3rd? No, he doesn't. That was a lap rider going through, so Mills stays back here in 4th. Rose was... Oh my gosh, he just busted a quad mid-rhythm there. That was a big one. So Hubbard gets through unscathed and now has a little bit of free track. just because there is nobody around him. But he does have lap traffic that he's coming upon, and it seems like nobody's going to be catching Braden Carter at this point. Carter's really reopened that lead up to over 20 seconds. Seems to be in full control of this main event at the moment. No real pressures from behind. Mills third, Sullivan fourth. Jake Rose has drifted back to fifth, and another mistake there, sliding out before the finish line jump, so he has to roll. Devin Davis now has the opportunity to close up and try to get inside of the top 5 as Rose continues to make small mistakes. Devin Davis, another somewhat OG to the community, who's been around since pretty much about the same time I've been around. Late 2011, early 2012, Devin Davis started making his name in this game. And he's going to get by Jake Rose for 5th right there. Rose was down on that table. So Devin Davis making moves into the top 5. Jake Rose back to 6th. Chase Blakely, he's on a charge. He's up into 7th now. Gets that 2-4-3-2 line through that rhythm lane. Oh, big crash there. Fred Heather going down. He is a lap down, and it looks like he may have just disconnected. That would be a DNF for the British rider. So Blakely here in 7th, kind of all by his lonesome. Benjamin Saves back here in 8th. Similar scenario. McIntosh just tucks the front wheel in 9th. He's getting put a lap down. And Tanner Thorson moves up into 9th. But he is also a lap down. So 9th place, 1 lap down to Braden Carter, who's just ahead of him right now. Crazy how quickly things kind of turn. 13 minutes into this race, Tanner Thorson was 2nd off the line, and now he's 9th, getting put a lap down, but he just actually tipped over. And that's going to allow Hunter Braun and Rogan McIntosh to both go by him. So here's Braun on the 243 moving up into 9th. And Rogan McIntosh now moving up into 10th. And they will continue their battle together. Looks like Jake Rose and Devin Davis might be sizing it up for a little bit of a battle up here. Devin Davis just got passed by Jake Rose, actually, but they're right behind Daniel Mills. And is that Sullivan down in the corner as well? It is. Look at this 4-rider train over the finish line jump. Luke Sullivan. Oh, Jake Rose just went down, and Daniel Mills runs Sullivan all the way out into the start straight. That's going to give Devin Davis a boost, and he cuts underneath Daniel Mills. Mills back underneath of him. Sullivan trying to fight back on him. Davis goes far inside now, trying to get to Mills's inside, and Sullivan runs into him. He goes down. Chase Blakely trying to take advantage of all this on the 21 and get into the mix if he can. He's up into 5th, and he might just go into 3rd now as Mills just went down, and he's right on Devin Davis. Let's see what Blakely can do in this rhythm lane. This is the battle for 3rd now. They both get the rhythm lanes clean. Blakely looking for the opportunity here. Only 20 seconds left on the clock. So wherever Carter is, oh, big kick for Davis. Nice save, though. Nice save for Devin Davis at the end of the whoops, and it's going to hold his podium position steady for the time being as he's trying to pick up his 2nd podium of the season here. Jacob Hubbard all alone in 2nd. These guys are 45 seconds down of Carter out front. Carter is surely about to be lapping into the top 5 somewhere with everything that's going on, but white flag waving out front. Devin Davis and Chase Blakely, the battle on your screen. This is for 3rd spot in this main event. Davis a little short, but Blakely didn't get the rhythm clean either, and they're going to go check each other as Blakely has some internet issues right there. It seems like he was lagging. So just when he gets up to Devin Davis, he cannot complete the pass, but now he's going to be into the back of him, and he goes down. Davis stays on 2 wheels and keeps it going. Oh, but then he goes down before the whoops. Devin Davis is down. There goes Jake Rose into 3rd. Daniel Mills gets going. He's in 4th. There's Benjamin Saves. All the while, Braden Carter's coming through the whoops, and he's passing everybody. Braden Carter literally just lapped, I think, up to 3rd. As everybody just went down in the whoops. This is going to be frantic coming to the finish line here. Anyway, Braden Carter, yet another win on the season. He wins the main event in Seattle. Not quite. Benjamin Saves comes across 4th. Davis 5th. And now Carter crosses the line as he lets these guys race one more lap. Devin Davis is going to get by Benjamin Saves. And there is Carter finally taking the victory. Braden Carter extends his points lead with another win tonight in Seattle. Jacob Hubbard, a really solid ride. It goes unnoticed because he's all alone in second spot, but he's going to pick up another podium here tonight with a P2. Get that 360. Oh, he didn't get enough distance. Jake Rose, can he hold on for third? He's got to get through the whoops cleanly one more time. Getting the hucks. But he saves it, and this is going to be a nicely well-earned, deserved podium for Jake Rose here on the whip style machine. Had to fight for this one. This one wasn't easy. But he's going to bring it down, and he'll end up on the box tonight. Jake Rose finishes up here in third. He's pumped. Benjamin Saves looks like he has been able to hold off the Devin Davis fight, and he will come across in fourth. And Devin Davis probably going to be disappointed because he had a podium spot there with a couple to go, but still a top 5 effort for the Mad Cape LTF machine as he comes across in fifth. Mills was 6th, 7th for Sullivan, 8th for Blakely, 9th was Braun, and 10th was Rogan McIntosh. Take a quick look at our leaders. Nothing changed with cuts. So 11th was Tanner Thorson, 12th was Kevin Gonzalez, 13th Ivan Medina, 14th for Zoa Cross, 15th was Trevor Schaefer, 16th for Riley Hewins, 17th Trevor Spencer, 18th was Robert Wilson, 19th for Fred Heather. We saw him DNF this race. Michael Mudge also DNFing. Hunter Porch with a DNF, and Alana Solis with a DNF as well. That has been the 250 West main event from Seattle in MX Simulator. And we're not done yet, folks. 450 action coming up next. Thought those races were good. Wait till this 450 class comes out. Already saw some great racing in those heat races from the 450 division earlier on. And surely we'll see some great action in this 450 main event. So glad you guys could join us here on RacerX Illustrated's YouTube channel. Kellen Brower here calling the action. Again, some of you might know me from my StartYourSystems.com channel, but also I do some work here at RacerX Online. I'm the online content editor, so nice little trade-off here. The folks at RacerX wanted to have some virtual gaming competitions this week, and we basically just transferred over my broadcast that I normally do on SYS here to RacerX tonight. So some of you guys know the deal with this. Some of you guys don't, but again, if you guys are just joining us, maybe you've already been watching. This is the 13th round of the MotoOption SX Series, the Pro MX Simulator Championship. A replica of Seattle is being raced. You're looking at a replica of last week's track, Detroit, that was also raced. And yeah, fun times to be had tonight. Already had a terrific 250 main event go off, and we're about to find out who's going to win the 450 main event here in what is maybe going to shape up to be an interesting championship battle down the stretch. Only 21 points in it between Jeremy Siebold and Jack Haley. I already saw some people saying what their picks are for this 450 main event are in chat. So again, shower the chat, guys. Let us know what you guys think is going to happen in this 450 main event. Who's going to win? Who's going to pick up that RaceFactorGaming.com Whole Shot Award? $5 from ATE Studios coming the way of the Whole Shot Award winner tonight. And who will it be in the 250 division? It was a walk-away, wire-to-wire victory for Braden Carter. In this 450 division, who the heck knows what is about to happen? Can Jeremy Siebold click off his 6th win of the season, extend his points lead? Or will someone else end up atop the box? Can Jack Haley finally pick up his first win of the season? Dennis Fjellberg's here tonight. We got William St. Laurent. Walter Gebhardt snuck into this main event out of that last chance qualifier. Colton Mitchell, he's 3rd in the points entering tonight. He'd like to pick up a win here if he can. Race Carlin was fast. Hunter Root, former series champions, mixed in here. We got Alexis Leclerc out here. Ash Deering has had a good night. Jeremy Smith won his heat race. Still has no bottom fork tube. But it's time, folks, to go racing here in Seattle. I hope you guys are ready for this one. 20 minutes plus 1 lap set to go with the best MX Simulator gamers in the world lined up, ready to do battle here for you guys. Turn that volume up. It's time to go racing. The 13th round of the series in MotoOption SX starts right now. And Haley gets a great drive into the first turn. Contact with Copeland puts him down, though. And it's Colby Eaglin picking up the whole shot. From the outside comes Gebhardt straight out of the LCQ. He's trying to go to the lead, and he will. Gebhardt to the lead at the end of the first straightaway. Jeremy Smith in second. He's trying to pick up his first win of the season. Multi-time winner in this class. He's got a good start here, and he's in second behind Gebhardt. Dylan Copeland settles into third. Eaglin back to fourth. And the 66 of Casey Ollard is up here as well, with Ritzler and Holm coming through the whoops behind them all. As they funnel in after the whoops, Smith with a tucked front wheel loses a couple positions. There goes Eaglin and Copeland down the inside. Whips galore over the triple on the first lap, as leading the race is Walter Gebhardt, straight out of the last chance qualifier, using that outside gate pick to hole shot, well, not hole shot, but get to the lead early here in this main event. Almost wonder if he went way wider in the corner and utilized that triple on-off quad line in that rhythm lane to really bolster his chances at taking the lead. It seems to have worked, as now Eaglin's a little short here. Copeland and Smith might get a move. Copeland definitely going to get a move. Smith gets landed on by his former teammate there. Casey Ollard on the T-Gritty machine lands on Smith's back and it costs him a couple positions. Ritzler and Leitzel go on by. So Ritzler, she's in a good spot here early as, whoa, big crash there. Not sure what happened, but Colby Eaglin just went down at the end of the whoops. And Leitzel's trying to find a way through on Sabrina Ritzler. Leitzel won the 250 main event last week. We had some dualies over the triple, and there's the move. Leitzel down the inside. Moves up in to third, I believe they are running now. Adam Holm is second. No, I'm sorry, that's fourth, as Gebhardt, Copeland, and Holm is your current podium positions. Leitzel up into fourth. Ritzler runs in fifth. Jeremy Smith is back here in sixth. Ollard is seventh. Eighth for Hunter Ruth. Ninth for Race Carlin. And Jeremy Siebold is in 10th right now. So your points leader just inside of the top 10. But maybe more crucially, no sign yet I've seen of Jack Haley. Alexis Leclerc is in 14th. Jack Haley is in 17th. And where is Colton Mitchell? Oh, he looks like he's right behind this group here, about maybe 12th. Moving up to 11th as they go around a downed rider there. Race Carlin is all over Hunter Root, though. Scrubbing down the triple. These guys know how to lay it over on these 450s. Root trying to block Carlin's line, coming onto the start straight. Carlin trying to fight back. And Siebold lurking back there on the 19. See if Carlin gets a move down the inside of Root here. Thinks better of it. Does he still get the triple on? He does not. That's going to be the non-preferred line here. Siebold gets the main line. He's going to get past Race Carlin, but he does not. He backs out of the challenge and instead settles in right behind Carlin, not wanting to jump on his back. Oh, Ritzler going down in the whoops. Fortunate to jump out of the way with that crash, and Smith having to take some evasive maneuvers, jumps on the inside of the racetrack there. He's up into fifth now, is Jeremy Smith on the number 4 swapmotolive.com machine. We got Walter Gebhardt still leading from Copeland and Holm. Logan Leitzel seems to be the man on the charge right now. 54-1 last time by, and he's already looking for a move to size up Adam Holm for third here. See what Leitzel can do on this Mad Cape machine. That's not going to be a good line. Wow, nice job of saving it right there. He was all off kilter and still busts the quad at the end of the rhythm. This is what it's like from his perspective on board right now. Just right on that rear fender of Adam Holm on the 17 Panini Motorsports machine. Through the whoops we go. Solid run for Leitzel there. Close up a little bit on Holm. Curious if lap times this time by. We'll do a little top 5 lap time look as Leitzel slides out. Go up front, take a look. 54-1 that time for Gebhardt. 53-8 is his best. Back in second, Copeland just ran a 56-7, so steady Eddie ride here out of Dylan Copeland. Did a 54-8 is his best. Adam Holmes done a 55-1 is his best. He did a 56-2 last time by. Jeremy Smith moves up to fourth with a 54-5. He just put in his personal best of the race. Logan Leitzel drifts back to fifth, but he is still right on Jeremy Smith's heels. And I'll tell you what, JS4 seems like he has really found his groove late in the season here. Maybe it's just he's had a little bit more free time with the COVID outbreak and just not being able to go ride as often as he had been, preparing for outdoor nationals on his SGB Babbitt's Maxxis Kawasaki team. But he definitely has been a lot better these last couple of weeks, and he is working on charging his way towards the front right now, potentially running down Adam Holm. By the way, Adam Holm is side by side with Copeland. Got some dualies over the triple here. Cut back underneath from Holm. He's going to be side by side again, and more dualies. Copeland has to concede the position. Adam Holm up into second on the number 17. So we are 5 minutes, 45 seconds down in this race. Still got a long ways to go, and Holm is going down. He goes down out of second, and he's in a bad spot right there. Smith is able to avoid him. It's a blind jump right there. Nobody hits him. Somehow he able to go is unscathed from that situation, but he lost a lot of positions, including his teammate Seabolt going by around the outside. Man, Holm's got to be disappointed. He was in a great spot right there. So Eagland goes through Colton Mitchell. Logan Leitzel is right behind Hunter Root. And Jeremy Smith just slid out, so he's trying to get going, and he's going to block his teammate Hunter Root and allow Leitzel to get to the inside of him. Bar to bar over the SX triple. Block pass from Leitzel trying to hold the spot on Root. And Leitzel now secures fourth, but Root fights back underneath. Leitzel double single to the outside, and here is Colton Mitchell getting into the mix as well. Little four-rider train as Root and Leitzel exchange pleasantries. Leitzel not going to get that quad out right there. That's going to allow Mitchell to close up. Eagland right behind as well on the 24. Let's go on board with Colton Mitchell and see the frantic action in front of him with Logan Leitzel and Hunter Root just off the front here. 54-1 last time by for Mitchell, so he's starting to find his groove as well. Through the whoops this time by. Very clean. Oh, rider down. That was a position, I think. Oh, that was Root that tucked the front wheel. So Hunter Root has gone down. That moves Jeremy Smith up into third. Logan Leitzel right behind him in fourth, and we're on board with Colton Mitchell, the system decal rider. He is running in fifth. Get that on-off triple quad if you can, but Mitchell makes a small bobble and only has to double out of that section. Really cost him some time. Let's take a look at the gaps as we're 8 minutes into this thing. Gebhardt leading. He is working on, looks like a 15-second lead. 14.4 is the official time. Dylan Copeland is in second. Jeremy Smith is in third. Leitzel and Colton Mitchell in a frantic battle for fourth right now, though. Who's going to take it? So again, this is a couple of real-life pros you're watching on the screen right now. Jeremy Smith and Logan Leitzel. Two guys that actually have their AMA Pro license. Leitzel actually made his SX debut at Daytona. And with everything that's happened, it's his only race that he's ran so far, obviously. But Jeremy Smith, many people would know Jeremy Smith. Oh, Leitzel goes down, and Mitchell jumps over top of him. Just able to not hit him and go down himself. So Eagland goes through. There goes Seabolt, and here comes Leclerc. Alexis Leclerc, we finally spotted the number 7 Rockstar Husky ride. He has moved up to 8th, and he's trying to get 7th. There he goes over Leitzel to get into 7th. And Leitzel a little out of shape in the whoops. This is the part of the race where Leclerc really starts finding his groove and charging. He's doing that really sweet outside pop-on-off line in the split. Still Gebhardt out front. Just about in cruise control at this point. With his lead. Goes around Dennis Vielberg there. Jeremy Smith. Looks like he's moved up into second, so Dylan Copeland has gone backwards. And Colton Mitchell's gone forward. So actually Colton Mitchell in a really good spot here to try to gain some points. on Jeremy Seabolt. Seabolt trying to not lose too many points tonight. Eaglin, Leclerc, and then Seabolt behind Leclerc. Let's take a look back and see if we can find defending champion Jack Haley. Here he is 2 spots further back as Adam Holm gets all kinds of sideways in that corner. Jack Haley peeking down the inside. Does he still get this triple? He tries to block Holm. Pops the triple, and he's got it, so that's going to be a pass completed there for Haley. Now he moves up into 8th, and Seabolt, who he needs to gain points on in this championship, just up the road in 7th. 21-point gap for Seabolt. Got a rider down. That is that Colby Eaglin? It was Colby Eaglin down. This might be an opportunity for Haley to pounce and make another spot up if he can. Not teammates. Eaglin, MV Films, Haley, JDR, Jack Daniels Racing. With Haley seeing Seabolt just up the road, he must feel that this is a prime opportunity to gain championship points. And Seabolt trying to go to work on Jeremy Smith right now. Got a rider down, and Seabolt's going to go down. He stays on 2 wheels, though. That's crucial. Eaglin goes by, as does Jack Haley. Jack Haley down the inside. And so suddenly, Haley gaining points in the championship. It's only 1 point, but it's a lot better than nothing, or losing points for that matter. Oh, Seabolt into the back of Haley after the whoops. And down he goes. Let's see how many spots he loses. That's going to be Holm going by. And Root just does not quite get there, so only lost a spot to Holm. Lapped rider in between them might be Ritzler? No, sorry, Jeremy Shipley on the 39. And Smith was just down, so Haley's going to get another spot. Actually, Smith just went back by Haley, and then Haley got front end lock from getting landed on. And now it's really stacked up as Holm gets plowed into by, I think that's St. Laurent, but really just incidental contact. Not much you can do right there. All right. Gebhardt still leads. He's got a 22-second lead. Man, he is in cruise control. Maybe going to that last chance qualifier was beneficial. You really got to see the racetrack and how it's developed. Never fun to go to the LCQ, but at the very least, he got more track time in a race scenario. Colton Mitchell sitting 2nd in the race and looking at potentially moving into 2nd in the championship if he can hold this position. Depends on where Jack Haley gets to, but Mitchell definitely clawing a lot of points back away from Jeremy Seabolt right now with this 2nd place finish. If he holds on and Seabolt can't make much more positions up. Oh, that's not going to help though. Mitchell down. Let's see if Copeland gets to him. Copeland almost went down himself, all out of sorts, but Copeland will get by for 2nd. Eaglin will get by for 3rd as Mitchell gets going up in 4th here. And here comes Leclerc. Leclerc going by for 5th. So Leclerc on the charge. Last time we saw him, he was in 14th. Moved up to 8th. Now he's up into 4th and trying to go into 3rd on Colby Eaglin. Jeremy Cohenauer going down there. Can put a lap down. Look at that line, so smooth. Leclerc inside, look at this block pass. Oh, almost gets there on Eaglin. That line after the finish line jump, so interesting how it works out. And there is, oh, that's Copeland getting up from a crash. Oh, and Leclerc goes down. Got the rut all wrong on corner exit, and that's going to give Seabolt and Haley a position. That puts Haley up into 4th now as Copeland just went down. Wow, 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 wow. This is a lot of changing positions real fast, and this is actually negatively affecting Colton Mitchell's chances, especially because not only is he losing points to Seabolt, he's losing points to Haley, who's closing up on him. Oh, man, oh, man. As the season goes on, these 3 just find their way to the front every single week. Reverse order as they are in the championship right now. Seabolt leads from Haley and Mitchell in the points, but as they are on track, Mitchell is in 3rd, Haley is in 4th, and Seabolt runs in the 5 spot. So this is going to be what we'll see every week. This is going to be Seabolt's championship to lose because these guys are not gaining enough points on him to claw their way back into this championship discussion before the season's over. Haley looks like he's really found this groove with doing that 2-4-3-3 line through the first rhythm. On-off 3-3 through here, might have an option to go down the inside of Mitchell, but Mitchell shuts the door. Who gets to drive in the whoops here as they're trying to run down Eagland. Both of them really clean, and we've lost Seabolt. Seabolt's gone off the back of these guys somewhere. Oh man, look at Haley going long on the table over single. Shows him a wheel, but plays nice. And Seabolt's lost a lot of spots. He's back in 8th. Oh, Haley threw it down the inside of Mitchell again, but still playing nice. Doesn't want to make a overly aggressive block pass and maybe put them both on the ground. So instead, Mitchell is going to have to continue fending off from Haley, who, like I said, he's doing that 2-4-3-3 line, which is technically the slower line there, but it's almost looking like it's being a more consistent line later in the race for Haley. Through the whoops we go once again, still. Oh, and they both go down. Haley saw an opportunity to pass Mitchell, who slid out, and he tucks the front wheel and goes down himself. Does he lose a spot? He does. Copeland goes by. Alexis Leclerc finds himself in the mix. Race Carlin out of shape, but a nice save. He's going to lose a spot to Seabolt, who comes down the inside and makes the move. So Seabolt charging his way towards the front once again. By the way, Walter Gebhardt still has a sizable lead out here. Looks like this is going to be a pretty easy victory tonight for him on the number 5, which is beneficial for him. 5th in the championship entering. He might have a chance at passing Leclerc for 4th in the standings, but he is really all but out of this championship discussion, so really no benefit championship-wise with his victory other than taking away from other riders, so it's really helping Seabolt because someone else is not winning this race that could claw more points away from him. But a terrific ride here for Gebhardt tonight. He's done a masterful job not only pulling away early, but weaving through a lot of lap traffic. As you can see, he's trying to get around Tyler Lang here. Now coming up on Logan Leitzel on the 18. Jeremy Smith might go a lap down at some point here. As they all funnel in together. Eagland, a mistake. Is this going to cost him 2nd? Here comes, oh my goodness, who was that? That was not for position, but that was, I believe, Jeremy Shipley, who just did a 360 off of, I think, William St. Laurent's Mad Cape bike. That was pretty crazy. All right, Jack Haley's up into 3rd, and Leclerc helping his case out here in 4th by keeping points away from Mitchell and Jeremy Seabolt, but Mitchell is right there, and Seabolt's not too far off the back either on the 19 as he enters the whoops right now. On off before the triple. Leclerc's got that inside pop-on line dialed. We're coming to the end of this race awful quick, folks. Just about a minute left on the clock, and then 1 lap will remain after time expires. Oh, Leclerc a little short on that triple there. Nicely done. I think that's Ritzler moving out of the way. Colton Mitchell would love to make this move. This is huge for the points if he can. Applying that pressure to the number 7. Through the whoops we go again. Leclerc riding that rear tire a little bit. Double to the inside, get that rut clean. And then pops that on-off line. Just looks sketchy, but Leclerc, one of the best, most technical riders in this game, does it consistently, lap after lap. All right, let's see. Will Gebhardt will get back to the line, I think, before time expires. Let's see. 55, 56, 57, 58. Yeah, he is back over the line before time expires. It just now expired, so 2 laps to go here in Seattle for Walter Gebhardt. Looking to pick up yet another win. I believe it would be his 3rd victory of the season if he can do so. He won the Anaheim opener, but has since had an up and down season. And Jack Haley would do himself a huge favor in this championship if he can just somehow close this gap down to Colby Eaglin and pick up 2nd in this main. All the while with Seabolt being down in 6th, that'd be a big point swing. Looking at about, I believe that's 6 or 7 points if he can get Eagland. Claw this thing down to about 15, 14 points. With 4 rounds left to go, we might have a real championship on our hands, which is insane because Jack Haley has still not won a main event this year and is looking like he will not pick up another main event win here. But he has been so consistent, especially in the second half of this season. He's hit the podium so frequently. And looks like once again he is on his way to grabbing another podium and maybe more as he's trying to go for 2nd on Eaglin in the whoops. Down the inside, but he backs out of the challenge. No, he gets it done. Down the inside in the rut he goes. And Haley's up into 2nd. Now can he hold this spot for one more lap as the white flag will be waving, or will Eaglin come back and try to make a move? Oh, it's getting nervous time. Haley needs this 2nd so bad. Championship on the line. 4 rounds to go after this. The 2nd place would be huge. Right now, he is looking smooth as butter, and he's going to use this consistent line to his advantage. Walter Gebhardt wins tonight in Seattle. 3rd win of the season. Dominating victory. All eyes on this battle for 2nd. Oh, Haley's trying to weave through traffic. And there's going to be more traffic in the whoops. Let's see if anybody's down. No, it's clear. Clean in the whoops. Let's see if he can make it cleanly. And he does. Now battle for 3rd brewing. Leclerc charging hard on Eaglin, and we know he gets this on-off really clean. Eaglin gets a little stack there. He cuts the bails, and Leclerc tucks the front wheel and goes down, and he's off the bike. Mitchell goes through. Those are points right there. Does he get up before Seabolt gets there? And he's going to. Seabolt not there. Wow, wow. Oh, man, Alexis Leclerc thought he might have a podium. Ends up 5th, and Mitchell gains points in the championship. Jeremy Seabolt going to be frustrated with a 6th here tonight. He's going to lose some points. So let's see. Haley just picked up 23 points. Mitchell just picked up 20 points. And Seabolt just picked up 18 points. So that's a 5-point swing we're looking at now, I believe, in this championship, down to 16 points with 4 rounds to go. Haley picking up 2nd was huge right there. But it is Walter Gebhardt, your winner tonight at the MXS Seattle race. The system decal rider gets it done in the Pacific Northwest for round 13 of the MotoOption SX Series. Crazy, crazy, crazy race tonight, live on RacerX Illustrated on YouTube. I seriously can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed your night and had something to take your mind off it, essentially. Really, really good racing tonight, I thought, in both classes. The 450 class, a little bit of a snoozer there at the end with the dominating victory from Gebhardt, but the action from 2nd on back was great all night. And in this 250 division, I mean, what was there to say other than Carter's dominating victory? There was action all over the racetrack. So, yeah, as I said, great racing tonight. Like I said, I really, really, truly hope you guys enjoyed and had a good night of watching the races. Just taking your guys' mind off of what's going on right now. And trying to get some sort of racing out there for you guys to watch. That's the end goal, of course, here. And hopefully you guys had a wonderful evening. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here for Kellen Brower here at RacerX and Start Your Systems. Thank you guys again for tuning in to round number 13 of the 2020 MotoOption SX Series live here on RacerX. Hopefully we'll see you guys next week, whether we're here or whether we're back on Start Your Systems. Hope you guys learned a little bit about the racing action tonight, and we'll see you guys wherever we end up next week. But so long from Seattle.
slow.